Okay, dann schönen Abend zusammen. Willkommen zum sanften Sonntag. Heute eine ganz spezielle Edition. For all English folks, I'm going to start talking English in a bit. Just hang on a second. Also wir haben einige englische Zuschauer heute. Deswegen werden wir überwiegend Englisch reden, weil, wie ihr es vielleicht mitbekommen habt, haben wir heute einen speziellen Gast, den ich ein bisschen organisiert habe, sage ich mal. Dazu gleich mehr. Für alle, die zum ersten Mal dabei sind, auf Deutsch kurz, sanfter Sonntag, sanfter Montag, jede Woche NBA Top Shot Livestream. Wir sprechen um die vergangene Woche normalerweise, heute alles ein bisschen anders von der Agenda her, aber wir fassen normalerweise alles zusammen, oder ich. Wir diskutieren ein bisschen, was so gerade abgeht bei Top Shot und haben meistens eine interessante Frage, die wir immer beantworten. Also wir freuen uns, oder ich freue mich, wenn ihr jede Woche einschaltet. Ich glaube, es war bisher ganz witzig, hat sich eine coole Community ein bisschen aufgebaut. Und ja, lasst mir ein Follow auf Twitter da und auf Twitch. Dann supportet das Projekt auch ein bisschen, das ich hier an Land gezogen habe, sage ich mal, die letzten Wochen. Und ja, das war es eigentlich schon so, was das Mini-Intro angeht. Heute, wie gesagt, ein bisschen anders alles. Und zwar, einige von euch kennen ihn vielleicht schon. Bekannt in der amerikanischen Top-Shot-Welt. Ich habe ihn mal vor ein paar Wochen kontaktiert, ob wir mal zusammen was machen sollen. Dann war ich bei ihm im Stream diese Woche am Freitag früh, ganz in der Früh, vielleicht habt ihr es gesehen, der ein oder andere in seinem Giveaway-Stream. Und dann heute, wie gesagt, ist er mal hier dabei und wir machen die Show zusammen. Hoffentlich mit ein paar interessanten Themen. Er hat sich auch was vorbereitet für uns. Aber in diesem Sinne, Plunge, are you ready? Okay, nice. Then let's welcome to the stream. PlungeFather, hey man.
I have to admit, so I speak zero German. I have zero context for German other than cognates to other languages or where you use English words. It sounded good. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was positive.
It was so
and
positive,
I'm jacked to be here. In the meantime, I was looking up. I went on Google Translate and was trying to find out how to say this isn't where I parked my car, which is like my tagline when I pop into a Twitch stream. Is like, where this isn't where I parked my car. If anybody has seen Eurotrip, the I don't even know the guy's character name, but that's what I always say. And so I have to ask you, because I don't think Google Translate got it right. If I wanted to say this isn't where I parked my car in German, what would I say?
You would say, let's say, das ist nicht, wo ich mein Auto geparkt habe.
Okay, I'm not even going to try that. But I appreciate it.
Let's say, hier habe ich nicht mein Auto geparkt. That's so easy,
there
man.
We go. I love it. I'm all about it. My extent of language beyond English is I took a few years of Italian in college, and I started dreaming in Italian. That's when I heard that's where, like, if you start thinking about fluency in another language, when you actually have dreams in that language, that your understanding isn't just I can do the mental math in my head to switch from one to another, but you're actually thinking in that language, which is very different. So anyway, I'm happy to be here. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Seriously. So I think most of the viewer know you. I'm not sure. So maybe if you just want to like quickly introduce you, who the hell are you? What are you even doing here?
Who are you?
Then let's quickly introduce you. I mean,
sure.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So I'm PlungeFather is my Twitch username and Twitter username, but my name is Pete in real life. I do healthcare software stuff during the day, and follow Top Shot and comment on Top Shot and have a Twitter presence on Top Shot. I got into Top Shot in January and have kind of been very heavily engaged since then. So very happy to be here. Most of my knows my German beers, and that's probably it. Actually, not even that well. I wish I knew my German beers a little bit better. I'm gonna have to get some pointers from everybody in the chat. I live in Madison, Wisconsin, so just outside. If you're familiar, Milwaukee is directly east of us, about an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm about 2 hours and 15 minutes from Chicago. So that's most people who haven't been to the United States. That's sort of their kind of reference point. We're kind of north and west of
Yeah.
Chicago. So, but yeah, that's sort of the basics. I don't have like a massive account on Top Shot. Like I have a pretty decent sized account, but it's the stuff that I do is pretty conservative. But I kind of live and breathe and sleep thinking about the stuff that happens in and around the Top Shot ecosystem a lot. So, that's
So
sort of the.
I checked. I checked your account like last time you sent me, and I think we are pretty equal, like from an not only value standpoint, but maybe also moment count.
Yeah,
so that's definitely fitting. And yeah, I think we talked about it the other day, how crazy it is. It is that like Top Shot connects a guy from Wisconsin to a guy in like Esslingen. Probably not even every German knows Esslingen.
Yeah, when you told me where Esslingen was, I looked it up and I was like, "Yep, that's somewhere I've never thought of."
So that's crazy, but it's nice to see, and I think that's what keeps it fun now. Also, at least for me, it does. And so.
Agreed.
Totally. Well, let's start it off. I have a few things maybe I have like sort of a rapid fire question prepared. Hey, Danny, nice to see you in the chat. Like, I have to give a shout out to Danny. I don't know if you probably know him, right?
I know that avatar. His Twitter.
Everybody knows that avatar. Yeah. So Danny, we go back to like I met him on the second day in Top Shot. Oh, sorry. And then, we basically, since then we go back and forth almost every day. So he's been there all the way.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's awesome.
I have a few rapid fire questions, as I said.
Yeah.
Just they're basically basketball and sports related, just to get like the people to know you a little bit more, and also me. So first question, is it beer or wine for you?
Beer. I do love wine, but if you gave me one or the other at a wedding, for example, and I went to the bar at a wedding, I would be getting beer.
Nice. Okay. NBA or NFL?
Good question. The answer would have been NFL before January. It's probably I coin flip at this point, but probably still NFL. I watch a lot of football, and I'm very heavily engaged in like fantasy football. So I just pay a lot more attention to that sport, or I have in the past.
Okay, well, that's a little bit sad since you're on an NBA Top Shot stream.
I haven't quite gotten in, maybe next year, but like I haven't quite gotten in and mastered like the fantasy element of it, which like Top Shot is a very unique way to view the NBA and a lens through which you can kind of understand what's happening. And I certainly watch a lot more basketball than I did. I could probably count on one hand or two hands even the number of times that I watched a full NBA game as an adult before January. And now I probably have watched 15 or 20 games since then. But I watch football every Sunday in the States. And I sort of, since college, have done that. So it's going to be a hard habit to break. Definitely more NFL
then. But that's also nice, right? I mean, a lot of people probably start watching NBA since they play Top Shot. I always say play, but
it's a game.
It is a game,
I would say it's a game.
It's a game which, well, let's go on. This one is also maybe tough. Next championship, since you're a Wisconsin guy, Packers or Bucks?
The Bucks.
Okay.
I think Aaron Rodgers is not long for Green Bay. I think he ends up somewhere else next year, and they will have a massive rebuild to do. So I would say the Bucks, as long as they keep Giannis happy.
I think they do. And then I think
Bundesliga.
Do you ever watch Bundesliga? No, you guys don't watch soccer at all, right?
I'm familiar with it. I have a lot of friends who are pretty heavily involved in international soccer and European soccer in particular. We pay a lot of so the group of guys that I'm in that we do sort of all of our fantasy sports and everything. We do Champions League fantasy, so we pick all of the games like in the round of 16 and the round of 8. So I'm generally familiar. I grew up playing soccer. I played soccer until I was 18. I was on a relatively competitive travel soccer team in my youth. So I paid a lot of attention when I was younger and have since paid a little bit of attention. So I know roughly what's happening in the Bundesliga, but like only sort of like through the lens of major sporting stories and through listening and watching my friends talk about it in a chat channel where it's literally the channel in our Slack is called Ball Kick. Because it's like most of us don't care about soccer, so it's just like, oh, that's the Ball Kick channel. Like that's where those crazy people talk.
Yeah, I mean the Bundesliga has been a little bit boring the last like 7-8 years. Bayern Munich won it, so that's
they're so good.
For me.
I mean,
But yeah,
they're
still
they're
good.
the Yankees. It's hard to compete
Let's
when
not
you can
talk about
spend.
them here because I don't like them. Okay. I think another quick question on like famous question on Top Shot is LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards.
Ooh.
Which rookie, like especially if you go for like moments on Top Shot, which one you prefer?
Oh, if it's moments, it's definitely Edwards.
Okay.
I think LaMelo Ball will probably have a better, longer NBA career than Anthony Edwards will, just based on what we've seen so far. That said, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to project what either of them will do, and can they be the number one player on a team, right?
Yeah.
So right now, Anthony Edwards benefits from having other. I mean, they're really bad. The Wolves are really, really bad.
So
But like,
bad.
but at the same time, like, would you have said in 2014 that Giannis would be a multiple MVP and
No.
like the guy that could lead you to a championship every year or have a shot at it? And you would not have said that in 2014.
No.
Right. So
totally.
it's hard to say like now what it's going to look like 5, 6, 8, 10 years from now. I think right now I would probably take LaMelo Ball, just because he can distribute well and makes the other people around him better. And he's not as reliant on like being a ball dominant scorer. So I would think LaMelo.
Yeah, I agree. I watched his return last night for a bit. And he already
that pass was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, seriously.
That was really cool.
It was so cool. The next one is also tough. Like number 1 LeBron James moment or number 23 LeBron James moment?
Number 1.
Always.
Okay. I think I'm on Team Dingling on this one.
Yeah, me too.
I think they're with the jersey number stuff, and I know that he probably will never ever change his number again. Like 23 to me isn't LeBron. 23 is Mike. And and like, you know, there are some really unique numbers, right? Like Luka 77. There's really no other 77 out there, like really. But yeah, so it's like there are a couple, you know, MJ is 23. And so like if it was MJ, probably I would say 23, but LeBron is 23, but he was 6 at one point. Like, you know, I just sort of, I don't know. I think 1 is like equal across all, right? Because for a player that's 0, for example, like, okay, their jersey number is not like, right. Like their jersey number is not as valuable, or like a 1, it's not twice as valuable for Zion. Right. Like, so I think if I think 1 is consistent. So I like that.
Yeah. I like this, like the comment we have here with MJ and Kobe, it's got to be the jersey number. I think that's the difference. Like,
8, but with Kobe though, is it 8 or is it 24? So there's 2 of them. Like, are they both of them? Yeah, I mean, if there's only like 2 really valuable things on each moment, and it's 1 and the jersey number, for a Kobe, is there 3? Is it just it just happens to be 50% more valuable for like the massive ones? Like, I don't know. I don't see that.
Yeah.
And I would, again, I see in the chat too, like C Vasily would not complain over a 23 LeBron as well. Yeah, absolutely not. Like, I would love that. No. And I think that they are valuable because the community and the market has said they're valuable. But if it was me and you gave me, here's both of them, if Andy and Jack Settleman, Andy 8052 and Jack Settleman came to me and said, all right, you get 1 or the other, I'm taking the number 1.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, I agree. But did you see the number 23? I think the like 35 KCC number 23 sold like 2 days ago for like how much?
It sold twice. Someone sold it for 10K. The other guy turned around and sold it for 23,000.
That's just crazy.
He just let one guy left 13 grand on the table, which is a lot of money.
There's so many moments out there. If I would really like leave 13K out there, then there definitely would be another moment to go for. Yeah, but that's fine. I mean,
yeah, I see in the chat the other question about the perfect mint. So like the concept of, you know, if it's out of 15,000, like 15,000 out of 15,000, it's niche. Like it's not as, I'd say like maybe a little bit of a value, but Dingling did just like go.
I'm pulling it up right
on a bunch of MGLEs. He bought a bunch of weird, or not weird serial numbers, but all perfect score serial numbers. A lot of those MGLEs that he got yesterday or the day before.
How much did he buy today? Wait,
it's a lot. It's nuts. He's amazing.
I checked it this afternoon and I was like, they were like totally different.
Yep. He just keeps going. I don't know if he bought an account or something. Like he might have gotten an account, like bought an account, because there's a lot of ones in there.
But no,
that aren't that.
Yeah.
So
I swear I looked this afternoon and he had like I don't know, he had like 400 or something. So something happened, but I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
either you
there
see
you
that
go.
Aaron Naismith and the Jokic 22
Yeah,
or
Jokic, he
2021.
got
Yeah.
like all the.
I mean, I'm for it. I think they should hold more value than like the
It's
ones
clean. It's
above.
so
It's
clean.
clean. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not as not as significant or as a number one or a jersey number. And I would probably even take like he said the LeBron. I would rather have like a number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like I would rather have any number, any single digit more than I would want a perfect scorer. But they're cool. I know. One of my buddies, I think he's actually in the chat. Matt Master is in here. I think he had. It was either Isaiah Roby or Nish Smith or something. He had like a 12,000 out of 12,000. He struggled to find someone to sell it because it's like not everybody feels that way. Everybody knows number one. Everybody knows the jersey number. The perfect score thing is like a lot more nuanced.
Yeah, nobody really looks for it. I think, at least I never did until like recently. I got the memo, but it looks clean, like you say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have 3 more. What's your favorite set so far on the platform? Favorite set?
Ooh, favorite set. That's a tough one. My favorite moment that I have is the run it back Kevin Garnett. So I'd like the run it back moments a lot. I think as they mature as a platform and as they are, you can tell between series 1 and series 2 that they have focused a lot more on which highlights to select as compared to like just having a highlight. So, there's a lot fewer like total dud moments. And I think there are a handful of the run it back moments from the 2014 season, which is where that series set came from, that I'm sort of like, that was the best moment you could come up with from that player in that year. Like,
I think in the beginning they were like not really, they didn't know what they were into, and then there are also like a bunch of MGLE and Comment, which are basically the same, and then Legendary is the same again. So I think that's weak in a way, but I
agree with you. So I think like I like the idea of that set a lot. The execution of it, I think they will get better at, and I'm very much looking forward to the run it back set that comes out. I think they've said it's going to be in the off season. And I think it's like Shaq and Tracy McGrady and Allen Iverson. So we're assuming it's like 04, 05, 06, somewhere in there.
That's going to be insane.
Like it'll be cool to see. And I assume that they will pick like really cool plays from that season. They've got a lot of time to plan for it. Like, I'm excited to see that stuff. And we'll see a LeBron, right? Like there will be a LeBron. There has to be, right? Because he came in 04. So, and he will be the only one that like, well, no, if it's 06, it'll be Chris Paul will still have been in the league. If Melo is still playing next year, he'll be in it.
Yes.
LeBron. But like, there's only a handful of players that are still in the league from 2004, 2005, 2006. You can probably count on 2 hands the number of players. Trevor Ariza still in the league, and he came out the same year as LeBron. But yeah, and Mario Balotelli. This is not my living room. This is my basement. That is field turf. That is field turf in my basement that I have.
Quick side note: Mario Balotelli is like he's like the most frequent guy we have here. He's like so loyal to us. So
nice!
Definitely a shout out to Mario Balotelli.
There we go.
we still think it's like one of our relatives, but he pretends he's someone else. So we don't know. We'll see. Okay, nice. But that's for me personally, I really like the Seeing Star set. I don't know why. I know it's a more recent one.
I think it's cool too.
It's just I'm like you see, I'm just trying to finish it. The LeBron is missing currently, and a couple other ones, but I think it's so cool. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's the first All-Star set that we ever have.
Yeah, and on my stream, I don't know, 3 weeks ago at this point, or might even been a month ago. Alan Carr and Austin, who is the head, like he does the content curation stuff for Dapper and for NBA Top Shot, came on and we talked about the All-Star set and the Seeing Star set. And one of the things that Austin said that resonated really, really strongly with me was I think the Seeing Star set is the All-Star set, because the Seeing Stars is how, like, this is what justifies them being an All-Star. Right. So it's like probably going to be the best play for that player prior to their All-Star game. Right. So this is like showcasing them as they're like, this is the ticket that got them in type of thing. So it's better plays. And it will be consistent, right? They're going to do this. They will have, a great play from every all-star in this set in perpetuity. They won't necessarily have a meaningful or good all-star gameplay for everyone because it's an exhibition. It's just a clown show, right? So I think I agree with you. I think this one, and they've hinted at this a million times, that it will have future utility. Things will get reused again. Like if I have the money, not a bad idea, and not financial advice and all that yada yada bullshit.
No.
But like, I would not scoff at the Seeing Star set as something to pick up, especially like, hey, off season dips and like people aren't paying attention. Like if you're looking to complete a set, it's like gettable because the moments aren't that ridiculous in price. You can sort of build over time, and they're all-stars, right? Like they're all-star players. They're the 25 or 25 of the 40 best players in the NBA probably.
Definitely. So we'll see. I hope that it keeps. It's been rising the last couple of days. I hope it keeps rising.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see.
I think I have a handful. I don't think I have that many, but
there's still time for you. Okay, so I have two more. What was your first ever bought moment on Top Shot?
Yep.
The first one ever. Do you remember? I remember.
It was Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins, nice.
Andrew Wiggins. Yeah. So
series one, I assume.
I found it because someone was talking about it on my stream. Lindy Hollick, who is at 84 and up on Twitter. He was like, I want to get the moments that I like sold, or like my first moment on Top Shot or whatever. And it was the $7 one. Or excuse me, not the $7 one. This is the $15 one, I think. Like out of 50. What is it? It's either that one or the 3999. I forget which one it was. I'd have to go back and look. But it was. I thought at the time when I got into Top Shot, my understanding of what the platform was at that point was that you collected moments and you made sets like on your own. So like, and then you had to like sell the sets. So, and I don't know why I thought that was kind of a dumb thing to think, I guess, but like I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to get things that are all similar so that I can like have a, related set of things. And the thing that I thought, and I don't know why, but like the 2014 draft class was Wiggins went 1, and then there was a bunch of other guys that are still in the league that are like pretty good. Jokic was that year. He went in the second round, but like Dinwiddie was there. Gary Harris was there. Shabazz Napier was there. Marcus Smart was in that group. Joel Embiid was in that group. And I think Nerlens Noel maybe was that year. Anyway, long story short, I started like grabbing all, like that was my first like 8 or 10 purchases on the platform were all players that were drafted in 2014, because in my head it was like, oh, I'll get all of the players from the 2014 draft class and I'll bundle them up and I'll sell them to someone.
But it never happened.
But I'm just a dumbass. Like that's not how it works. So I ended up selling that wig. I think I bought it for $2. It was my first moment on the platform, and I sold it for 11. So I got 500% or 400% increase or whatever.
Yeah,
and then the guy that I sold it to sold it for like 60 something bucks. So I found the specific one at one point, but like, yeah, it was, now that I'm looking at it, it might be that out of 399 one. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the first one, because when you say you started in like January or something. Yeah.
Yeah. The 15,000. Yeah. They might not have been out yet. So
I think so.
But that was my first moment on the platform.
Nice. Yeah, my first was actually I remember coming.
You're smarter than me if you got a Carmelo.
And it was the series one. That was this one, and I remember I was like struggling so bad. Like I just got on there and I was like, "What am I doing? I'm paying like real money for something." And I bought it for like $3, I think, and now it's like $3.58. I still got it, so I never sold it.
That's a hell of a return investment.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those, but then also I saw the other side.
I have a question for you. So, it's being from Germany, I assume that you don't use the US dollar in your day-to-day interactions, right? You use something else. Is it harder for you to figure out like relative value because it's all listed in USD?
I would say, like, for me at least, it's like in my head, it's always a little bit cheaper than it might be, because the euro is worth more than the dollar currently. Like I think €1 is like
It's 1.2 or something like that.
I don't know. So in my head, it's like, okay, if that's $7, then from my bank account, they will subtract like €5, right? So in my head, it's like always
1.2.
Yeah, and so it's
20%. So it's always 20% cheaper in your head.
It's like it's 20% on sale. Everything is on sale.
No, it's cheaper.
This is like
this is the thing that maybe that's what's happening. Maybe it's all the Europeans that are propping up the crummy moments because they inadvertently think that the $6 moments are worth $5 and vice versa.
Maybe, yeah. But I think it's not a challenge for us. We can do the math pretty quickly, and sure. we get used to it.
Fair enough.
Okay, last one. What's your recent moment you bought? The most recent one?
I'll have to look. I don't remember. Probably a Trae Young.
Trae Young, right? I was about to say.
Or something for the challenge. I don't know if I bought anything for the most recent challenge yet.
Trae Youngs you have now, Plunge?
Oh gosh, I think I gave 20, or I think I gave 2 of them away. So I think I'm up to 22. I think I have 22.
Okay.
But it was probably related to one of the Cool Cats challenges. Is probably one of my most recent buys. So
do you want to elaborate why you would buy so many?
Oh yeah. So I'm all in. I'm all in on the concept of this moment in particular being meaningful, and it having like significant narrative value. So this is like a 20-second moment. So it's really long. So this is on January 26th, 2021. So it's 1 year after Kobe's death. He points at the logo, which is an MLK week related logo for Atlanta. He kind of swipes the chest like MLK. This is in reference to the logo. And then he does the 2 for Kobe. So when you think about the moments on the platform that matter the most in terms of financial impact and so forth, most of them have some narrative value around it, right? So like the LeBron Kobe tribute dunk, it's a sick dunk, but like there are sicker dunks on the platform that it just happens to be like a really substantial moment narratively. The Vince Carter last 3, right, from series 1, where it's like, okay, it's right before the bubble, the COVID hits. It's his last 3-pointer. The Hawks are out of the playoffs. So like his last moment on the platform. Okay, significant narrative value. Luka game winner from series 1, right? Same thing, right? It was kind of one of the moments that cemented him as not just like, okay, this rookie stud, but like, oh, this guy's a killer. The Zion block, like, yeah, it's his rookie moment or one of his rookie moments, but he spiked the shit out of that thing. And it was like incredible, right? It wasn't just like a cool play, but there's some narrative value around it. So anyway, long story short, with this, someone pointed that out to, I didn't notice it my own. Like someone pointed it out.
Me neither. I read it on Twitter somewhere, I think.
Yeah. And then like, I'm sort of a little bit of a troll on Twitter. So, and this was following the Seeing Stars thing with, I think, everybody was pissed off because everybody kept listing all of these challenge reward moments that they had spent a bunch of money to get for like way under what they had spent to get them. So I started listing the Kevin Durant, like the KD 69 420 thing, right? Like, so, hey, list your moments way higher than they're worth, right? So then I bought a bunch of these, or bought like a couple of these and listed them for $824, like as a like show of solidarity, like, hey, like these are cool.
And I think there was like the tweet the other day, like a lot of people actually followed you, right? Like,
oh yeah, that's like,
I think Greg put it out.
There's a couple hundred out there. So anyway, I bought like 25 of them. I had a couple of these and like it was late and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to town. So like I literally bought 25 of them in a row. I bought them all the way up to like $15. And then I was like, I think I posted something at like 2:00 in the morning my time, and I was like, "This is stupid. Like, I know that these are not going to be worth $15 like in the short term. Like, they're going to come back down because there's going to be more of these that are released in packs. Like, and I'll probably buy more of them when they're $10 and $11 and $12. And I'll talk about this in a little bit. And I think it like moments that are big numbers, like big circulating count, but are significantly different than others that are related to them with superstar players or pretty close to superstar players. Like, I think they will distinguish themselves and separate themselves. So what happens, my thesis here is what happens when this goes Ellie, and what happens if this goes Ellie and like Trae breaks out next year, or is an all-star again, because he was an all-star last year, isn't this year. but like relatively inexpensive bet to make. To like,
Yeah,
okay, so it goes from $11 to $8 and you take like a 20% haircut, whatever. Like, but if it goes to 20, like that's a quick double. So I don't know. So and I'm not claiming that I'm gonna hold on to them forever. Like at some point I will probably sell them off if they go up to like $20 or something like that, just to make a little profit on the way up or something like that.
For
But
sure, yeah.
I thought that this moment had narrative value and was significant, and it's just cool to have a bunch of them, and there's a story behind it.
Yeah, I agree. I bought a Vince Carter deal like a couple of months back. Now it's also like tripled the price, something just because of that reason. I think there are a few moments out there, like you said, which have like this emotional, sentimental, I don't know how you say in English, moment.
No, that's right.
So I agree. And well, there goes our daily shilling dose. So we definitely, everybody go buy a Trae.
Yeah,
gotta pump the price. Okay, we got one question for you. I think this is a no-brainer.
It's Dirk, right?
I mean, you can't say anything else. Yeah,
I mean, it's
gotta be Dirk.
I mean, it's like it's not deadlift shrimp. Like I can't even say that, right? Like,
shrimp.
Yeah, it's got to be Dirk. I mean, Dennis Schroeder is cool, but like, I mean, he's the way, the truth, and the life.
That's just a different. I think even for a lot of Americans, Dirk is like the favorite players.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's so fun to watch, and he was just like a generally good dude. Like, he was fantastic. He had a very unique skill set and game. The teams for the Mavs between like 06 and 14 or whatever, they were so good. And the West was sort of interesting back then, with the Lakers throughout the like early aughts and everything, that like, you talk about a guy that like carries a team, and how many guys in the league can like do it on their own? He could, and there's not that many of them. You could count on one hand the number of guys where it's like you could put Dirk on any team and they're like they're in playoff contention.
I agree.
And it's he transcended the sport in a lot of ways, but he's awesome.
Yeah, like when they won the championship in 2011, I think the NBA is not so, I would say, not so on the regular news in Germany. So, but that was really a brief hype when he won the championship.
It was 2011, right? It was that first year was it the first or second year that LeBron was in Miami?
It was the first where they choked.
Yeah.
Then
They should have had 3 in a row.
Had a fun for us Germans. It was fun.
I can
imagine. Okay, I mean, we have a little bit of a deeper question in the chat. I don't know if you want to, if we should take it, but let's go for it. I find it an interesting thought. Maybe, do you think? Yeah, I mean, you can read by yourself, but do we think that like the narrative is done by people like Dingaling and maybe even you for the Trae Young, for example, you saw some sort of an influencer, right? I mean, 600 people come watch your stream. So,
so yes, I think to an extent, but for their own influence, I think maybe not. I think people collect things for different reasons, right? And there are, as far as I understand it, because I'm not really big in the cardboard market, cardboard meaning physical sports cards, but there are corollaries to serial number and serial numbering in the cardboard market. And when you get a 1 of X or whatever those things are, pretty much everybody clicks, right? And the jersey number thing, as far as I understand it, that was something that the early like OGs, as we like to call them, right? The early OGs sort of decided mattered. And like that was something that kind of got absorbed by the community. And as a result, and the numbers bear it out, like pretty much all of the jersey number sales, other than people that accidentally list them, are substantively greater than single digit serials that would in theory be better because they're lower. So the perfect score is a good one, but like he's not the first to have the thesis. MBL 267, he has like 23 of 30 cosmic perfect scores, 49 of 49. He'll never get all the way there because there's a couple that are sort of like lost to the world. But like Dingling isn't the first to think that. So, I don't know if I would say like that he is necessarily trying to make them a thing, like stop trying to make it happen. Like he's placing value in that thing, whether or not other people later on will place value in that thing as it relates to what they could buy otherwise remains to be seen. And frankly, like he can't convince anyone else otherwise. Like, so if he wants to sell them, he's got to have a buyer. And if the buyer doesn't buy the narrative, then it doesn't fucking matter anyway. So, I totally get, fetch will never happen. Right. Like that's sort of what I was getting at. People are making, whether or not it's their own doing or they're making their own, like there's a thesis and they're acting on that thesis. Whether it's a birthday serial number or, the player's zip code, which in the United States is sort of like where they are physically and how the postal code thing works, right? Like, or, the year that they were born or whatever, right? Like people are making bets that those things will matter. What do I think they will matter? Probably not that much, maybe a little bit, like a novelty, but the perfect score one, the jersey number, and the number one, I think will stand apart.
Definitely.
The perfect score one, not so much. But I'm curious to see where it all shakes out too a couple years from now.
True. I mean, in the end, you just need a good amount of people who believe you. That's like you have to convince them. Yeah.
Well, with Dingling, you might need a couple hundred for Ding. Exactly. It only has to matter to one person, the potential buyer. You're dead on. So it matters to Dingling. So if you have a perfect score and you need to find a buyer, maybe Dingling is your guy.
Yeah, probably everybody's wondering who the hell is Dingling.
I don't know.
let me put Dingling's account in the chat because everybody probably is wondering who the hell he is.
They have spent an incredible amount of money in the last 2 months, like millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah. So this is his account. Her. I don't know. We don't know him.
I think it's a he, but who knows?
It might be even in a group. I don't know. But there's an interview on the First Mint podcast if you want to go and listen.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. I thought my car radio was broken when he started because he's like censoring his voice, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Quite interesting. It's good to see people like believing in the platform and spending millions, like really millions in it.
Yeah, assuming that I assume they are not a money launderer, or else it would have gotten shut down.
I hope so.
I think I saw something that like they had been briefly suspended or like the account had been hung up for something because of like a source of funds check or something like that, which I guess makes sense.
Which is legit, man. You spend like 3 million.
Yeah, I guess. But I think generally it's a good thing. I think people at our level playing in the end of the pool that we're playing in, I don't know that I would say that that's a really good thing for us. No, what I think it is a really good thing is for anybody that has super premium stuff, right? It sort of validates their investment because at least one big name collector is coming in and spending a really large amount of money and
willing to
it may pave the way for other people to do that. I don't think that Dingling coming in and spending millions and millions of dollars is going to make my Ish Smith moments be any more valuable. Like I don't like it doesn't matter, right?
But it gives you the feeling like it's somebody believing.
And I don't think there's the super ultra premium stuff. It's like saying that like, oh, someone came in and bought 15 Lamborghinis is good for like the Mazda Miata market. Like not really, like, or the Prius market, like, oh yeah, car sales are way up. Well, nope. There was just someone that bought 15 Ferraris. Like there's your Prius isn't all that affected in terms of value.
We'll see where this ends. I'm excited to see where Dingling ends. Like what's his ultimate plan. But
we'll see.
Okay, I mean we're 40 minutes in. Nice. This is going actually pretty well.
I think we have 40 plus in here so far. So big ups in the chat. Look at Charge D. Good to see you, buddy. Happy Sunday.
Oh yeah, shout out to every
and by the way, if you're in here and you're here for the first time, make sure to follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff.
And speaking of it, I forgot to show your account if it's even necessary, but let's put your Twitch just for good measure. And
you can if you go like it.
If you want more of the good
we usually go Thursdays. Here. We'll see.
Okay. So that's fine. Not at least you don't go Sundays. That's fine. Okay, let's talk a little bit more. We just got an announcement the other minute, like actually 30 minutes before we hopped on the stream, right? Hustle and Show, a new pack we have coming out tomorrow at. Now I always go German time, so it's 8 p.m. German time, 20 Uhr an alle Deutsche. It's like 8 at night. And for you guys, it's 11 a.m., I think. For you, it's even
Pacific.
different.
So I think it's 11 a.m. Pacific. So my time is 1 p.m. because I'm in Central Time. So 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's confusing.
We'll see. So let's say 140,000 packs, right?
140,000 packs. So I hope we get one. $14, so affordable. And I find it funny the qualify for this drop, collectors are required to own at least 2 moments when they enter the queue. So it's not even like a snapshot they took 2 days ago. 2 moments when they enter the queue. So the question is, why are they even doing it? Like, why even do any sort of requirement if you do like a 2-moment requirement?
I don't know. To be quite honest, like what?
It's just
maybe that's the basically they're looking at it like, oh, you must have spent $14 or something, or
yeah, it makes sense.
Whatever.
When the floor
or just
is $7,
like to make it like a little bit harder for anybody that like, hey, I'm gonna sign up. You know, it might be one of those things where, and I don't know specifically, this is me just speculating, but like, all right, if I know that if I'm a bot guy, right, and I have a bunch of multi accounts or whatever, or I can, and signups are open right now, and I know that there's a pack drop coming up, but it's this. If it's free money, right? Like if it's, hey, if you get a pack, it's going to be worth something, like, and because there's still going to be plus EV, like it's plus expected value.
Oh yeah,
that like you at least have to have like a little skin in the game. So if you want to put, if you want to put 10, yeah, like if you want to put 10, because they want it to be really accessible. I did see Jacob commenting on that, which is good, right? Like there needs to be accessible stuff, which the pre-order based packs are a great example of it. But like even the more like specific nuanced stuff or like the special stuff, it's not rare. It's supposed to be common. This is probably what they expected Cool Cats to be initially, but like that's okay. It's okay that there are really like low barrier to entry things, but having at least a barrier to entry may dissuade like someone creating 100 accounts to get 100 spots in line. And that's okay. So, you know, I don't see the value in it, but if they can't stop the bots another way,
I'm sure they have their reasons. I mean, it's just it's just sort of funny. I think we talked about it earlier.
Though.
It is a weird pack. We talked about it earlier in our like private conversation before the stream, but I mean, it is a weird pack. The names, I have to say, probably the most famous guy is Rudy Gobert, at least, or I mean, maybe Alex Caruso,
Sexton, maybe.
I don't know. They're all like somehow
RJ.
semi famous.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you scroll, can you zoom in a little bit?
Wait,
I can't quite see it.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Sadiq Bey is one that like people are interested in. I think Colin Sexton. So I think this is, you know, reflecting back to last year and the announcement last week as well that they're going to do a new slam. Oh, what's it called? Like slam downs. What's the
throwdowns? Throwdowns.
So this is again like a sort of set predicated on, or at least keyed off of, a specific type of play, which, hey, cool. Like, you know, it's not a steal because the last was like with the strip, throwdowns, like, you know, okay, hustle and show. So it's just like a different type of, hey, we're going to highlight this specific nuanced thing and give some shine to players that like probably don't have shine elsewhere. You know, there's going to be at least one challenge. I think the blog post said this is the first drop, so it assumes that there will be another. I think
it says drop at least one on the top. So
right. So
at least it sounds like it's multiple.
Yeah. So if it might be 2, it might be 3, it might be 5. Who knows? Like maybe there's 3 drops of 8.
I mean, it would be even weirder if this is like the whole set. Then this is really a weird set.
Yeah. So
I'm sure there's going to be a challenge there, and then probably a reward. I think it has been minted, the reward. I forgot who it was, but I read it somewhere.
Yeah, I think it is, but I don't remember who. See how excited I am for
it. Well, we're definitely going to try and get one. And there are also a bunch of like nice number ones still in there. Speaking of number ones earlier, there are a few of like
Giannis. It says
looks like
Giannis. Dr. 21 ACH says Giannis.
So I don't know if you got any luck in these space moments. The best one I got was a number 15, George Hill. So this is pretty dope. But
that's awesome.
Than that, I usually get like a 31,000 Josh Okogie.
Yeah. You know, the lowest one, I think the lowest one I've ever cracked in a pack is, or it's probably like 470 or something like that. I think I got, well, it was a challenge reward. My Luca from the first Cool Cats was 470.
That's nice.
So I haven't really gotten much. I've never gotten a rare pack. I've never gotten a legendary pack in 3 months.
Hey,
so such is life.
at least you're here.
Yeah, it looks like there are at least 20, I think, of most of the 3 badge rookies though. So there's like 20 Lamellos in here, which is like super low percentage of hitting on 140,000 packs or whatever.
Extremely low.
Extremely low. Like there's still a handful of things in there.
I highlighted a comment of like Mario again. Finally, a Giannis moment. I think we have so many Giannis moments on the platform. It's getting
33.
ridiculous. So 33.
Yeah.
So
there's 1,500. There's 1,502 moments total on the platform. It might be 1,510 now with these.
That's just
crazy. Like 30 of them are Giannis. So like that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's why I rarely buy them, because I think it's it's not good to have so many moments.
Yeah, I think it's 1 in 50, right? 1 in 50 moments is Giannis, which is a lot considering there are 500 right? When there are 500 players in the NBA.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, anything else to add to this pack? I think let's see what we get. If we get anything, should be interesting.
Yeah, sounded like there weren't any rebound packs, so like you either get one or you don't.
No, yeah, true.
Which is good.
No rebound packs. It says in here somewhere. So this is the blog. I put it in the chat also for everybody who hasn't seen it yet.
And I think I like it says an additional 4,000 packs will be reserved. They on the previous promotional ones though, they usually like take like 10%. So this is like it's less than it normally is in terms of percentage, which I thought was sort of interesting. So maybe it's just like, hey, they have such a backlog of having all these packs and they don't want to hold on to them.
They must have so many. Like they pull like 10% every time, or how many? It's crazy.
Oh, my zone says signups disabled until after the pack drop. Good for them.
Oh, nice. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, let's see what we get tomorrow. I think let's get to the biggest announcement this week, which was for sure the trade tickets announcement. For everybody who doesn't know or didn't even catch it, I just put it in the chat real quick.
Yeah, also spend the next 30 minutes trying to figure out the hell it means.
No, I don't want to get too long on this, but let's briefly talk it up. It's quite complex. Let's put it this way. So what it says, you can trade in moments, like whatever moment you want to trade in, rare, legendary, common, and you get like a trade ticket in return. One moment is one trade ticket. And then at some point in the future, we don't know when, which is the crazy thing, I think, you will be able to purchase like packs with these trade tickets, and these packs will primarily be made of the Series 1 moments, which they still hold. As also the German viewers, I showed the Top Shot account a few weeks back. And this is the way they basically want to distribute those Series 1 moments. And now it gets weird. I think the weirdest point is that if you can also, like, if you get unlucky when you trade in your trade tickets, you get a pack with the moments back, which people were like trading in, right? So you get garbage back basically. And
if you want it.
If you want it. This to me doesn't make sense at all. I don't know. It's just because if you think about it, the chances that you really get such a Series 1 pack, it's gonna be so low. And then like 99 or 95% of the people, I don't know how much percent.
It's got to be massive. It's got to be like.
It's just sad that they get a pack then like full of garbage. It's basically
I won't do it.
Really,
I wouldn't do it. Like if I'm in, I have so many thoughts about this, and that's sad.
Go for it.
That's sad. So there's a bunch of us in a private DM. So it's Chugs and Bugs, Greg Murray, Taylor, MBL, Andy, like a bunch of the guys. We're on this chat together, and Greg and I were going back and forth. And Greg basically said like, and he actually tweeted it too after the fact. Like here's an example of what like the pack makeup would look like for what we're terming the booty cheeks pack, right? So like the booty cheeks means it's just total ass. It just sucks. Yeah. It's the worst. It's just the cheeks. Like when it's total cheeks, it's butt. This sucks. If I get into a pack drop and I'm trying to get one, and they have, I think 15,000 maybe packs worth of moments that they said that they're going to spread out over 18 months. So let's just say that they did one per month, right? You're looking at less than 1,000 packs a month for however many people want in on this stuff. And people trade in these moments. Let's say it's 5 moments that you have to trade in to get 5 tickets to enter into this pack, or 10 or 15 or whatever, right?
I doubt it will be 5. I think it will be much higher than 5.
I don't know why it wouldn't be. Like, so let's just say conservatively it's 5, right? Like, okay, you can trade in 5, right? So if you've got 300,000 people trading in 5 moments, right? You've got 1.5 million moments back in circulation into now 500,000 packs, right? Like, you could make 500,000 packs out of the traded in moments for these things. And you've got those 300,000 people entering the queue. 1,000 of them get a series 1 pack. And now you've got 299,000 people that, okay, here, do you want one of these like recycled packs? Fuck no. Like, I already traded them in because they're trash. Like, I don't want them.
But you don't have a choice then, right? I mean,
I think you can get out of it. Like, I don't have to pay my tickets to, like, I think I can duck out. I think that as far as I read it, the ticket was the currency by which you entered. You don't have to like burn it to get into the queue. I think you get into the queue and you have to have enough tickets to purchase the pack.
To buy it, actually. Yeah.
And who knows? So I have 2 thoughts on that, or 2 divergent and 2 sort of like dissimilar thought processes here. My first thought process is, this is stupid, right? And I tweeted something, like I just tweeted a GIF that was just like the guy doing the thumbs down.
Yeah.
Later, I think my other thought process is, okay, I have always been relatively bullish, relatively like in sync with Dapper and NBA Top Shot's thought processes in general. Yeah. Right? You don't have to trade your pack.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one example of what a trade ticket will be able to, like, you'll be able to do with it. So maybe this turns into not just series 1 packs, but okay, they're holding all of these other packs from these rares, these legendaries, these other things that they're like for customer services purposes. Like we just saw, there's tons of packs that are still out there that aren't owned by people, that they have in the Top Shot account theoretically, that like they need a means and mechanism by which to do that. They can't just give them away in all promotion. And at a certain point, those packs become, yes, they're valuable, but like people care less about them. One of my friends, Jeff, he was holding on to, or he got a Cool Cats 2 pack finally because of like an error that they had in the drop in February. And he's like, do I hold on to it? Like, I don't know. Like, do I want to keep it? I don't know. So if it's not just like recycled booty cheeks packs, okay. But I think I saw Alan like up in everybody's mentions last night and on Discord, like basically defending the thought process. And like, I trust Alan. I trust him. I think he's smart and he's like really, really sharp. But like on the surface, releasing it now with the idea that 3 months from now this is going to be a thing, like why tell everybody this now? Because what it's done, what it did, and you can see this in Greg Murray's tweet, and I encourage you to go look at it right now. Like what happened was a shit ton of crap moments got bought up for $6 or $7, artificially inflating this price, right? For no reason other than to explain to them, yeah, it's that one right there. Like it just like 100,000 transactions to buy crap. And it's like, I don't want to have to buy crap.
And this crap will be like cheaper in a couple of weeks because
it'll probably be more moments. Maybe, or it's more expensive, right? And maybe that's the thing, right? Like they LE some of this stuff and, oh, hey, cool. Now the thing that I bought is now a little bit more valuable. But I think if the other thought process that I had that like I couldn't quite reconcile was like, personally, I'm not going to go and buy crap just for this yet. Like if they are truly trying to get to the point where they can do a drop a week where we can do like we did last week where you like, hey, pre-order a $9 pack and I get 3 moments and they're probably going to be trash. Like that's a way to purchase a $3 crap moment. Like is seriously, to buy those packs and assuming that you can pre-reserve them. And if they do it every week or every other week or whatever, right? Like between now and 3 months from now, how many can I buy? Well, if I did one a week and let's say that they do this 12 weeks from now, in theory, I could have 36 booty cheeks moments that like I bought through, 9 times $12 or 12 times $9. So like $100 worth of crap. So like, okay, like I can see that if you're looking at it from that perspective, okay, you don't have to go buy all this stuff. It is very likely that if you continue to participate in the pack drops, that you will accrue things that you will want to give away and give in. And I think that that's their thought process. But a lot of people, what they did with reacting to this news is just go buy crap. And like maybe don't do that. So that would be my recommendation. Like, it's not financial advice. Like, don't go buy crap just to buy crap until we know more about this stuff. Moments are going to come back down to earth. There are going to be moments that are minted to however many. There are going to be more things, more opportunities for us to buy crap like in packs. So I would say for anybody looking to like just stack a bunch of these things, I probably wouldn't do it right now. I would wait.
I saw like yesterday when it announced a bunch of like, even in the German chat, we had the discussions, should we go buy now? And like, obviously like a lot of people went and did buy it. But for me, it comes down to 2 points. First of all, I don't know when the hell this will start. And second of all, like, I don't know how many tickets I will need for it. So I don't know.
Sure.
Like, it's just
I guess
two things I have to know.
If you can find $3 moments, like I think where it's like, okay, if the math that you're trying to do is this the cheapest way that I can get throwaway stuff? Right now, probably not. There are going to, between now and when these things start, right? It is very likely that there are going to be more pack drops like this one, right? Like this one that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
There are going to be a shit ton. There are 144,000. So like only one of them is going to be the hustle and show or whatever. And you've got 4 other ones, right? 4 other base moments. And like maybe one of them is good. The other 3 are going to be crap. They're bottom of the barrel stuff. So like if you get, 140,000 people times, let's say conservatively, like, 30,000 of those moments that are in there are actually worth anything. Like, okay, so there's still like 300,000 crap moments out there that like are going to come into the marketplace to like flood these things down. And there will be more and more of that. So, they said a few months. So if they said a couple, it would be 2. A few, I assume
a few
2
is
or
like
more. I assume.
Definitely more.
So if that's the case, then we're looking at after the playoffs, basically, or like into the playoffs, or into the summer. So like, there's going to be so many packs in between now and then. I think that you'll have an opportunity to do this. I can't see them rolling this out like super, super fast. So
no. I think definitely not during this NBA season. I think it's a kind of a good way to keep the off season, like the off season hype alive.
Yeah.
Because
like, hey,
to be honest, the biggest
season.
winner of it all is who? Dapper Labs is obviously the biggest winner because people go and buy crap.
Yeah. And I think that's so what bothers me the most about this. And I saw it as a couple of people tweeted something to the effect of, and I'm not going to name names or whatever, that like, this is great. All moments matter. No, they shouldn't. Stop. No. Like, stop trying to make fetch work.
That's not how it works. Right?
I don't want to have to care about a Kendrick Nunn moment. I don't want to have to care. And I think that this is, I will say that like, philosophically speaking, I understand why they're trying to do this, which is to give some sense of like, if you do have crap that you don't like, and they're not going to say that. They're not going to, because they have a good relationship with the players. They don't want to shit on anyone, right? They're trying to say, hey, if you don't want this stuff, like we want to give you a way to do something with it so that you don't just have to like hoard it. But like this iteration of it, it's like it's by giving them value and utility, like in some way, they're artificially making them matter again. And no, they shouldn't matter. That's the whole point. The problem they're trying to solve is that these things don't matter and people don't want them. And like, so like giving them an outlet to throw them away that then makes them matter is sort of counterproductive. So like, let us burn them. I was actually thinking,
if you throw them away, then just burn them, right?
Yeah. I like, so my thought process here, I was thinking about what if I created a top, it's probably against multi-account rules, but I could get my mom to create an account. I'll get my mom to create an account and it'll be called, burn barrel or like trash or whatever, right? Like we'll just call it something that like, I want to send this to the dumpster, right? Like, or whatever. And I will like, I'll figure out a way to like officially like give, put it in such a way that like she can't and no one can ever get access to the account, right? Like that like it's locked forever. And the dumpster fire, whatever. It's a great name. It's River Guy. We'll figure some way out. Or like, and I don't know if Andy can help us out. We can like build a smart contract that like the unlock email is controlled in some way, shape, or form, or whatever, right? But like you can send your moments there and they're gonna die because no one's ever gonna be able to get into that account. Sort of like, you know, the landfill. We can call it landfill. But like I have no intention of but if we could create a way that people could burn them in practice without burning them in like on the chain, then I think that could be super, super lucrative for anybody that wants to get rid of their shit, because then part of the burning stuff is cool. That's cool about that other NFT projects have, like Tops or some of these other like other ideas, like the Pokemon trading card game, where you're like, oh, hey, I burn the stuff and then I get an evolved form of this thing. Like that's awesome. I love that concept. But even in Top Shot, like if you own a big stack of moments and you could burn them down so that like the value of the remaining moments are more valuable because there's like fewer in circulation. That's awesome. Like, and I think that's something that, like, even though there are millions and millions of moments out there, like some of them shouldn't matter. And that's okay. Like, and we just need to get to that point where it's okay that these booty cheeks moments don't matter. So anyway, that's a long way of saying.
Yeah, but that's honestly, I was here sitting last night and having like all these different thoughts, and now it's like a lot of way to look at it. But I'm not the biggest fan yet, and I probably will never be. And as I heard now, you also won't be the biggest fan, so
we'll see. And I want to give them the benefit of the doubt on most things, right? Like assume positive intent. And that's my general rule of thumb with everything is like assume positive intent, but they're making it really hard in the way that they communicate these things in terms of the timing. And I think they shot themselves in the foot by like saying, hey, we're going to promise to tell you when these things happen, like in the next week. I mean, and it's like, oh shit, we got to get an announcement by Friday. Like,
and it says like by the end of November 2022.
It's so long. If it was up to me,
like, I don't even know.
And I'm not an economist. Like if it was up to me, I would just make 15,000 pack drop and make like a dope other pack rebound pack. Like, all right, everybody's in. You have a random shot at this. You have to like maybe bare minimum requirements and just get them all out there. Like just people that want to hold them will hold them. People that want to sell them will sell them. And then all of the smart people that were here and want like those series 1 moments, like they're valuable. So if you're not going to hold them, they're going to get into the hands of people that want them. And they're going to get at a reasonable price and they're going to appreciate in value. Like I think they're overthinking, oh my God, the release of 700 more LeBron base set series 1s is going to artificially deflate the market for that in the short term. Like the 200 people that hold those right now that have them priced at $10,000 or $15,000, like they're not going to be miffed by the fact that people are selling them for 9 or 8 or 7 or 6 or whatever to make a quick buck. Like they're going to hold on to those 200 and they're probably going to buy more of them because they understand the value of them. So like, I don't think that like it's going to tank the market by any stretch of the imagination. Like sell 15,000 packs, make 150,000 rebound packs available of your hustle and flow bullshit, and like just be done with it. Like just be done with it. Just stop. Like stop. Like don't make this more complicated than it needs to be. What does give me pause about that is if they went through this much trouble to do this, that it maybe the thing on the other end of this will be really cool. Whether or not it's the series 1 stuff, like that's maybe not the final form of this. That's a way for us to utilize this thing or to test this concept. And we were going to use it for like a bunch of different concepts moving forward, which like I really hope happens, or else I'm going to be really sad if this is the only use.
You mean the whole trade ticket thing?
Yeah. It's a means by which for you, like, it's
I don't know what.
A dapper token, right? Like it's it's like a you know, there's lots
like
of
anyway. Some wooden coins or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say what will happen. It's like you say, we don't know a lot still, so the timing is just weird. And if you announce it, then announce it in a way so it's like a complete. But I feel like they just dropped some hints here, and we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I struggle to be outwardly like my internal turmoil and my struggle and my frustration with all this. I struggle to like put that out into the atmosphere and be like the really pessimistic guy, because at the end of the day, like I'm sure that they're probably working on something, and I like want to give them the benefit of the doubt with everything. And even though my initial reaction is just like, oh, this is so dumb, this is stupid, why are you doing this? Like maybe it's gonna be okay, but like God, I just wish they communicated it better. And that was like the most complicated blog post of all time.
Seriously, so I had to read like 20 minutes. I was so confused.
And I mean, we're all smart people. Like it literally took me like 20 or 30 minutes to like wait, hold on. And there's like a bunch of questions that are left unanswered. And they did a decent job of like answering some of them in Twitter and in the Discord, but like
it doesn't help.
I just wish they didn't shoot themselves in the foot.
They release it at like 12 midnight in Germany, so it doesn't help to. Yeah, but well, it is what it is. But it's good, definitely good, good thinking and good thoughts here. I don't know what the chat says. Are we having some fun stuff here? I send all the booty cheek moments my way, and I hold them on for you. Yeah.
Nice. Chargy. Yeah.
Chargy. I think I know it. Do you know him? Chargy?
Yeah, he was the best man at my wedding.
Ah, nice. Well, then
yes, I do know him.
You do know him.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay.
I named cool, my son's middle name is his first name.
So, well, yes, I chose the right guy then in the chat.
Yes.
Nice to see. Okay, and another good I think another good hint is
true.
Just sent the moment to Dingaling. It's like burning. Sure, because so far I don't know if Dingaling ever sold something or is that I'm sure
someone in the chat said the only thing that he has listed for sale is a Kevin Durant 69-420. That's the only thing he has listed.
Yeah, I don't think it. I did see that the bromance is strong. I can see it.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Very much so. Cool. Well, that's so much to the training tickets. We're like 1 hour in. Do you have a couple more minutes?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm good.
Then I think what also the viewer probably would love to see, because that's how I got to know you when I watched the first Mint streams with LG and Phil when you were still doing them back then.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had always like your sessions of analysis and session of
that's how I got into
like digging into the numbers and
digging deep.
Yeah, so if you just want to take it away from here,
for sure. Let me share my screen and we'll talk through a couple things. So I have some interesting stuff that I wanted to, as I was preparing for this. So one of the first things that I started doing in Top Shot was at that time there weren't very many, if any, like websites for us to utilize to sort of do any level of analytics on sales or listings or like value stuff that you could do without like sort of scraping stuff down on your own and then saving it and doing some manual manipulation stuff. So like I know enough about Excel to be dangerous and enough to like have an eye towards how to put things together. So I spent a lot of time like using, literally the only two websites at that point were cryptoslam.io and like intangible.market. Those were the only two things. And then I guess Top Shot Explorer as well. So Top Shot Explorer was sort of just like reading the flow transactions and showing mint sizes and everything. So I did share my screen. So there's a lot more. I think you can just add it to the stream. There are a lot more tools now, that many of you are probably familiar with. Like if you go to, let's say that we were looking at that Kendrick Nunn that I was making fun of before, like linked out from here on this Kendrick Nunn moment is the link to the evaluate market moment or page. And you can look
which is pretty cool for those guys, right? That they added it to the page.
It's straight. Yeah. And they probably, I'm close enough with Christian and Alex and some of the other guys that work there that like, that's a big deal, but they're doing lots of things to iterate.
One fun fact. I actually applied to them like for a software developer job like a couple weeks ago. But I don't think that they ever know that I'm like me, the Twitch guy, and the guy who applied is
Christian, if you're watching.
So, Christian, if you're watching, that's me.
That's the deal.
Continue.
So it's they've done a lot with the capability of looking at things and trending over time and so forth. And like now you can see a lot more to compare things, not just with like itself, but across moments. And I think one of the stuff that a lot of us were doing earlier on was to sort of like do on our own, figure out, okay, how does this compare to something else? Like, how do I figure out if this thing is undervalued or overvalued or whatever the case is relative to the market, not necessarily projecting where it will be in the future, but like at least compared to other things that are there, is this, cheaper than it should be or otherwise. But I mean, if you look at this Kendrick Nunn over time, like pretty nothing, right? There's not a whole lot here. This is a weird spike, mostly keyed off of very like specific serial number type stuff that you're seeing. But even like it's always traded at $5-6, right? Like there's not really much to look there, because it's just a sort of like a replacement level moment. But with Evaluate and also with Add More Funds, which I use very frequently, and I highly recommend if anybody else here hasn't seen this tool or plans to do any sort of like meaningful stuff in the marketplace, highly recommend using it. I have a paid subscription, so I get to see in like all of the individual like charts, so you can see and you can export things as well. So I can see kind of similar to evaluate.market. You can see the sales data. This is the Tyler Hero. Looks like, I forget which one. It's the Tyler Hero 35,000. So you can see the sales over time, like max it out. Same graph, right? Basically, just different coloration. But and you can see it.
But is that all paid premium content? So I can't do that. I
think some of them are. I forget if it's listings or sales. Like there's a couple things hidden behind the paywall there for that. But what I did 3 months ago, and for anybody that's newer, there was a point when Series 1, before they had all these 35,000 CC circulating count moments, there were a handful of moments that were there's only 10 that are out of 7,500. That's the circulating count for them. And they got LE'd. And then there were other moments that had like a 15,000 circulating count that were CC plus. And at that point, we weren't sure if they were going to like stop at 15 or if they were going to expand them to 30 or whatever. And so at that point, I spent a bunch of time figuring out like, hey, for the 10 players that are currently have a 7,500 and a 15,000 moment, like which of these is undervalued or overvalued compared to one another, right? So we use this concept called market cap, which I'm sure people are relatively familiar with. But the idea is that the market cap, which is listed on here for a particular moment, is the low ask multiplied by the number of moments that there are in that case. So in this case,
it's the value of the moment just summed up, basically. It's like,
basically. So it's like how much money's out there for this moment.
Focus
and
on
it's
that
really
moment,
it's really interesting that like, so for lower value moments, a $1 swing matters a lot in terms of market cap math, right? So the difference between 8 times 35 and 7 times 35,000, or 8 times 35,000 and 7 times 35,000 is like 35,000, right? So it's like a big chunk of those things. So like $1 shifted over, a larger number, it becomes like a very significant shift one way or another. And when you start looking at, and you can export these things out, and I did beforehand, what I did was I pulled all 30. So there's 10 7,500 out of 7,500. I pulled all of the 15,000s and the 35,000s for all of those to sort of compare to one another, to look at and see, okay, for these moments that are out there, like which are the really, really prime and expensive ones, comparatively speaking, to one another within the player in the set, and which are the really undervalued ones potentially, and to sort of explore why, because there's some interesting nuance here, and you can sort of see it play out in the market cap math more broadly. So what I did was I exported that all out and then basically just like put boxes around like each player. So this is sorted first alphabetically by first name. So you see Dame, like D, G, J, K, yada, yada, yada. And then not quite sort of, that's Greg Murray. Greg Murray is the guy that sees that. And then sorted next by market cap, right? So in theory, if all things were equal, if the moment was equal, if the scarcity was equal, if everything, in theory, for a given player and a given moment, the market cap would be equal across all moments, right? Because the market has an appetite for that player up to a certain dollar value. And if they were just, okay, it was straight or strictly the scarcity of the thing and the relative value of it, then like in theory, we would see perfectly aligned market caps across those things. In reality, what we see and what we can see, and what we would expect to see, is that for the 7,500 and the 15,000s, those things should theoretically be synced up more closely, because the 35,000s, there is some market, I guess, doubt as to whether or not they will stay 35,000. So
I have that
oftentimes,
doubt so much. Like,
Yep. And that was the thought as well with when they were 7,500 and then the 15,000s. There was the market treated those 15,000 mints as if they were infinity. And in many cases, they treated them like the way that they were priced relative to the 7,500 mints was as if they were 75,000 mint. And in many cases, we saw that and continue to see that with the 35,000 stuff. But the gap has closed pretty significantly. And I was sort of surprised to see that to some degree. So if you're looking at, in all of these circumstances, like the stuff that sticks out like a sore thumb, right? The Dame, not so much, but like on this one, right? This one in particular, these two market caps, so the 7,500 and the 35,000, are much closer aligned than the 15,000. And you might think to yourself, like, why is that? Like, why is the market cap for this one way, way lower? Well, it turns out that like this, the 3-pointer here is actually like a really cool play. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that's a game winner. Is that?
It's a game winner, yeah. Where they steal the ball and he shoots like over two defenders. Yeah.
So let's look really quickly. Damian Lillard, base set, series 2. So you look at these, and this moment right here, even though it has some ambiguity as to how many there will be, and apologies if my stream is bad, because my internet's trapped, but like this is a game winner moment, buzzer beater. So like the moment in this case matters a lot, right? So it gives this particular moment much higher value relative to other moments similarly for Damian Lillard for the other two that exist, right? So the 15,000 and the 7,500. So when we look at the market cap math for that, we would expect that like the moment matters, so it's dope, right? Like, so this is much higher. But there's still a pretty significant gap between these two. So if we were just assuming like the 7,500 is more aligned with what it should be, and this one has some premium relative to it, then like maybe this one's undervalued, or maybe they're appropriately valued. But like if I was looking at Damian Lillard and I would said, okay, which of these three do I want to buy compared to each other? Like it's this one, right? It's this one because relative to the others, like it's much lower in terms of market cap. And once this goes LE, you will see this number go up significantly, right? These are probably going to stay roughly the same, but this number is going to go up pretty significantly. And let's say it doubles. Let's say it goes to 30, right? Like if you've got, or 32, right? This turns into 1 million, in which case both of these are like significantly undervalued relative to this, but we might see that matters less. So this should be closer to this. So that's sort of the thought process that I go through in a lot of cases, but you have to recognize and you have to be really thoughtful about when the moment matters. There's a couple other examples of this. So a couple other examples of this, and probably the two most pressing or prevalent ones are this one right here, this KD and this LeBron. So this KD is his first non-run it back moment on the platform. So it has like like a massive pump. It's his first game back from injury, the first one in the Nets jersey, and it's like kind of dope. But like what I see with this is like, okay, this other three, this Nets 3 that we have out of 15,000 is probably more in sync with like, okay, what it roughly would be, which means that this moment, this common dunk that he has at 35,000, the market is treating this like it should be a 70,000 mint, right? So if it got to 70,000 and it was still $22, then we would expect the market cap to be in sync with the 15,000. So like when I look at this stuff and I see, hey, we have probably the person who's going to be like the Nets are sick, right? Like they're, if not the favorite, probably the presumptive favorite out of the East, at least.
Definitely.
They're probably going to make a deep run into the playoffs. Kevin Durant has very likely to win. If they go to the finals and they win, he will be probably the finals MVP. I mean, it's possible that Harden or Kyrie get it, but like he's the best player on the best team. And when you look at that and you say like, oh, hey, that's way out of whack. And this happened last time with the 7,500 and the 15,000, is it like Durant, for whatever reason, was way out of whack. So you look at this moment, and this moment matters a lot. It was the first moment that he had, basically, other than the run it back moment. And so the moment matters here, but the other two, it doesn't matter as much. And these are sort of the same, right? Same jersey, it's a 3 instead of a dunk, but neither of them are particularly special. So this one is at $103, and it's let's say that this is fair value for a Kevin Durant moment on the platform. It's a cool step back. It's not particular. It's in the middle of the game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, I don't think, did they even win this game?
I don't know, but it's quite clean.
I think they lost the game. It
looks quite clean.
Oh no, they won the game. Yeah. So if you're expecting that, if this is 1/4 of this price, you would expect this to have 4 times as many serial numbers. So let's say it's 15 or 60,000. So if this cuts off at 35,000, is that number going to be 22? No chance. It's going to be 40, right? Or it's going to be 45 or 50 even.
But do you need one question here?
Yeah.
Do you need the market cap for that, or is basically because, like you said, right now I can basically look at those moments and see, okay,
it's the same math, right? It's the same math.
It's the same math, right?
You're just doing it mentally, right? Yeah. You're basically saying oh, hey, there's 15,000 of this one at $100, and there's 35,000 of this one at $22. If this doubled, or excuse me, if this one doubled, it wouldn't be close, right? You'd still be under it. So yeah, you're doing the same mental math, but it's illustrating the same point. Is that one is very much cheaper than the other. And in this case, I don't think that this one, I think this one's way out of whack. So I will probably buy one right now. So I'm just going to buy it.
I was about to ask, do you really do that for every purchase you do? Or it's
not every purchase. No, not at all. But
some of them.
This, and actually it's a kind of sick dunk. He gets around it and he gives him the business. We'll see if this actually goes through.
Wait, did you at least check out the serial number you bought?
No, it's the $22 one. I don't really care a whole lot unless it's really low, and I don't typically do much of that. So hopefully nobody sniped this.
The 5-digit serial numbers, I don't like them.
Yeah,
so
it's all the same to me. I don't know. So someone asked in the chat, what's the market cap on his Seeing Stars reward? So we'll go back to this and shift it out. So I'll clear the tags, reset it, and just look at Kevin Durant over and more broadly. He only has 4. So this is the thing though. Kevin Durant only has 5 moments on the platform, which is silly, right? He's one of the best.
Is unreachable, right? They run it back.
Right. The run it back is essentially unreachable, right? He is one of, and he will have a series, a playoff round 1. He'll have a playoff round 2. He'll have a semi. He'll have a bunch of them coming out of the playoffs. Yeah. But this is the entry level Kevin Durant. That $22 one that I just purchased, and hopefully it went through. Yep, it's success. Cool.
It did. Yeah.
We'll talk in a month, or we'll talk when these go LE. I bet that 22 is 50. And again, not financial advice. This is me acting on information. But that's the type of thing that happened last time when these CCs went to LE. It was oh, and they ran the hell up, and they ran up, and then they came back, but they were still low. So let me look really quickly. The market cap on his challenge reward here is 1.7. So sort of right in range with that 15,000 3-pointer, which kind of makes sense. There's nothing super special about this particular reward. So, I sort of look at it this one in particular probably should be more in the 1.5 range. So this should be assuming that the circulation is 35,000 and not 70,000. Right, that's the bet you have to make. You have to make the bet that they're not going to print twice as many of these, right? If that's the bet that you're making, then unless it's so much worse than all of the other moments, it just doesn't make sense. The math doesn't add up, at least from my perspective. And I know that perfect economics aside, these are the types of things that just stick out to me when I'm looking at things more broadly. And that's one that sort of is in particular, Kevin Durant sticks out really, really a lot. The other one, And it's the exact same dynamic as what happened with the 7,500 and the 15,000 last time.
Yeah.
It was a little different in that it's LeBron James. So like the 3-pointer in this case was like something like $90 or whatever it was. And it was like, this is the moment, right? Like this was the entry level LeBron until the 35,000 came out, and it like rocketed up and got up to like $2,000 for this one. And now it's down to 500, but like that's going to happen with this one too, right? Like not to the same degree, because it's not as cool to play, but like if you're looking at this dunk as a more representative market cap for LeBron compared to this one, right? Like, then again, the market is treating this LeBron as if it is minted to 60,000 or 70,000. And like, again, if you look at, LeBron instead of Kevin Durant, and you look at LeBron's market caps, and then sorry for anybody that like was trying to keep this information secret, like, but like it is by far the lowest of those market caps, and it's like not particularly close, other than the All-Star Game one, which is kind of a crummy moment, and that's a rare moment as well. And the hollow, which that's sort of beside the point because it's a different beast. But if you look at common moments, and you look at and again, Series 1 is a little different as well because they're going to be, this is the Kobe tribute dunk right here, which God damn it, it was down to 10K like last week. I almost bought one. I almost like whipped out the credit card.
You didn't like seriously consider it, or no?
I was very, very seriously considering it. It was like $10,700. And I didn't pull the trigger. So, and because I didn't want to have that conversation with my wife. And yeah, and I know most of us are in that same boat that have significant others. But the idea here is that like when you're looking at common moments, and let's just, again, looking at what we have on the table, like this one isn't even close. It's not even like, this seeing stars moment even, which is super diminished because it doesn't have any utility anymore. Like if this one should be even closer to this one, like this is way undervalued. Assuming that this is where it caps. If
that's the risk you take, right? If it's not capped, the risk.
I just don't see the value to them in minting 15,000 more of these to get to 50, because they have so many other plays to like bring in, and why not? Wouldn't it make sense? It makes way more sense to me to cap this one at 35, and then you get another LeBron moment that's 50 or 100,000. Like it just makes too much sense to me to like don't kick the can down the line, right? Like if you're trying to diminish these, like I don't know, it doesn't make sense. So like, hey, if people are asking like, what would you buy right now? Well, I bought that Kevin Durant, and I'm probably going to go buy this LeBron or like a handful of these LeBrons at 70, because the second that these go LE, that is not going to be $70 anymore, guaranteed. But it's going to be above that.
But it's also like you can't miss the moment, right? The moment they retire it, you should like at least see it.
And it might come back down. That's okay.
But
right?
It usually goes like up and then down again.
If you could see the, we can actually just look at these. Let's look at this LeBron, because it was nuts. This LE. Oh no, this is the low ask. Sorry. Let's go look at the sales. Interestingly enough, this one as well. This is, I think, Greg and Chugs and I were talking about this. It is the most available moment on Top Shot. I think there are more of these listed, the 35,000s at $71, because that has the most. There's like 3,000 plus listings. So like, which is nuts to me, right? Like, there it is. So like these three, again, three of the best players in the league that have a 35,000 that is probably undervalued relative to the other market caps are the most available, because for some people that is their one piece that they could make a little bit of cash on, right? So they're super liquid as well. So like if you're worried about, oh man, like I want to get out of this if it crashes or something, they're super liquid. Like you're going to be able to sell them. So it's a very low risk.
That's actually
proposition
really
in
nice.
bet. Like it's nuts that like, again, it's these that sort of like, it's usually less of the $7 and the $6 ones that are in this range. It's sort of the ones that are like there's so many listings of these things. I mean, there's probably a ton, but anyway. So if we look at the LeBron, what happened when it went LE before, it was like insane. So I'm curious to see. I think it'll be tampered a little bit or tamped down a little bit because people like learned what happened and there were like a confluence of factors that created that like massive spike with like massive bunch of people coming in and all this different stuff. And it's not going to do exactly the same thing, but like it will do something similar, which is like a lot of people are going to be like, oh crap, this is my last time to buy in this low, and they're going to run it up. This is when that happened, right?
Yeah,
like,
I remember this day.
This was when the announcement happened, right? Like it was right in here. It's just it went like, oh, everything's going LE, and just shot up to the moon.
Yeah,
I think it was actually
that was crazy.
And then,
but that was also like that 22nd February was still the craziest day.
This day was an interesting day in Top Shot history. So anyway. Yeah, it will take my college tuition. That's how I explain it. Yeah, it could be worth nothing, which would be a really challenge. I think I'll keep my kids' tuition in the 529 plan, tax free.
That's really cool. I mean, I haven't used the Top Shot
Add More Funds.
The Add More Funds website because I think I checked it out once and I might have not like get the premium access, and then I think you can do all the stuff. So it's definitely interesting. I think maybe you can put it in a chat for people who are interested. And
I think I shot it in there, but okay. I don't think I have an affiliate link or anything. But
how much do you pay for it, or is that like you because
I think it's $10 a month or something like that.
Okay.
But it's I think affordable. if you're doing enough of this, like that you're actually trying to look and find and see, like, yes, evaluate.market's free and it's easy to look at. And they have an explorer tool now too that you can look at and do something similar. I like the view of this. I like that you can export it. I like that you can create your own tags for it, which I think you can probably do in evaluate.market as well. I just like the feel of this one. And it's pretty clean across the board. They have alerts and price alerts on them as well, which are going to be more real time. So if I want to set an alert on that and say, all right, and if it dips below 70, let me know. It's going to text me and like with a link to the listing that I'll be able to jump into. So I think it's totally worth it for that. If you're looking at something like that, more so than, it's probably more plus EV than Netflix.
Way more than Netflix, sure. It just keeps pumping the price, but that's a whole different story. Oops, sorry.
Thanks. Now I had to buy a KD. Yeah. So that's my thesis at least. I could be wrong.
I also bought one. I mean, I have to jump on the train and see and put some pressure on you in a couple of weeks or a month.
There we go.
But no, that's really cool. I think it definitely will help a lot of people out there. But it's crazy, right? I mean, we all find ourselves sometimes like digging into numbers. I mean, at least I do, and then it's like you can spend hours on these data points and to research, and in the end, you just buy whatever or some Trae Youngs.
And some of it, like, it's okay. I think it's okay to collect things that like you don't think will be giving you like a huge financial windfall. Like sometimes it's just fun. Like it's just fun to collect that stuff. Like, it's fun to have that thing or whatever. Like, and that's sort of like how I have to look at this in a lot of ways, or a lot of the time is it's not just, will this thing make me money? Right? Like there's some of that, and there's some of the, like, because that's fun in of itself, is to sort of try and play the game in a way that's financially lucrative. But challenges, like, I know that they're probably not going to be like worth value, but like playing the lotto is kind of fun.
Don't go there. It's we had the topic like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
Our challenges worth it.
This Cool Cats one, this one right now is going to be like $70 in the hole, probably 70 or 50 or $50 to $70 in the hole.
Probably even less. It's
so, but
for me, Cool Cats challenges that's just like I sell all my CC moments when they hit the challenge, and then it's a nice fun to
there you go
to buy a KD or something. So at least
there you go.
But I stopped doing challenges with the seeing when I did the seeing stars. I think a lot of people burned their hands on the seeing stars like very badly.
Unfortunately, like the challenges that are worth money to do are the hollows and the MGLEs. Like,
and that's, it's at least it's out of reach.
Yeah. So right now, at least
for you
me.
and your wife as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For now. We did the only rare challenge I did end up, we liquidated enough stuff to get the Anthony Edwards dunk, which I still think is dope. But
it's probably the dunk of the year this year, but
yeah, but at that point I thought he was going to be the rookie of the year, and hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But
I do think LaMelo will take it.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. So we'll see.
Cool, man. That's really, really good stuff. Good stuff. And I planned to do this on going like an hour or so, but now we're like 96 minutes in.
It was fun.
So, it's super fun. I have to tell, time flies by when you have fun. At least you can say that in German. I don't know if that's a English.
Yeah, time flies when you have fun. Very, very common American saying as well.
Okay, so that's definitely true. Let's do our Trae giveaway. Do you want to stick around for that?
Sure.
And then I leave you to it, and it's also like 11 p.m. almost in Germany. Probably is anybody German still watching? Appreciate all the German folks hanging around. So last time I tried the Nightbot, it didn't work for me, but now I figured out why it didn't work. You just have to like give some permissions, and so now hopefully it will work. So let's quickly share my screen again and show what we're giving away. But everybody probably knows what I'm giving away. It has to be. I mean, if I have to PlungeFather on the stream, I have to give away the Trae. And I didn't do a giveaway for the last couple of weeks. Now the time has come. So this one, I think I bought another one the other day. So do you see how it lags sometimes on StreamYards? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's kind of funky.
Okay, but anyway, if you want to participate in the giveaway, it's just type what word do you want to plunge? Should we
Trae, Trae.
Trae. So everybody who types in Trae in the chat now will have a chance at a Trae Young. Let's see. Let's stop stream manage, and I have to reshare the specific window. Then it usually doesn't. Yeah, then it works. I have one here. Yeah, this one. So we give it. It's also not the worst serial, but also not the best. But it's fine. It's like 11301. And this is probably the best chance you get in any giveaway because it's
like 20 people, 30 people.
It's like 20 people.
You've got like a 5% shot.
We're still so small in Germany. I tell you, it's like sometimes
I put my name in too. If I win it, we'll give it away.
Okay, let's put my name in too. Okay, so right now we have not even 20. Let's give it one more second. Anybody else? I think that's just, and then we can just roll the dice. And the guy who won is
Galactic.
Do you know him?
Nice job, Galactic.
I don't know him, but Galactic.
I don't know him either.
Yeah. Congrats to you. The thing is, I probably have to wait like 2 more days to send this over to you because this I just purchased this. So just send me your Top Shot name maybe and on Twitter or somewhere else, and then you get this nice Trae Young. And hopefully
there's two. Yeah, and for anybody that didn't know, there's 2 more at $11, and there's like a bunch at $12. So if you want to ape in, they're going to be about $12 a pop. Which
I bet they're gone in like 5 minutes because we just talked about it.
Yeah. Well, 12. There's a lot at 12, a lot at 13. So, hey, there's some out there if you're gonna ape in. A lot at that like right around there, or set the price alert when they hit $10. Just buy.
Yeah. Or when they hit 20, then for you it's like sell, right?
I don't know if I'm gonna. I haven't set that mental math yet. I'm gonna wait until they LE for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I mean that's just a natural pump anyway. But yeah, I probably won't sell them before they go LE.
I hope they will go all the A at once. That would be dope. Like the last time they did it in Series 1. Yeah. And
I would very much appreciate that. That would be dope.
Well, very nice, Pete. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I would say I don't want to steal the whole Sunday from you. I know it's like 5 p.m. at 5.
It's 3:40. It's 3:40 where I am right now, so and I just heard my son, who's 2, just woke up from his nap. So it's actually a really good time.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah.
So no, but seriously, thank you so much. I think it has been a really super exciting, and I think we can do this again in the future if you're down. And if let's keep the American German connection going.
For sure. We got to we'll get Dennis Schroeder on here at some point.
I tried. I reached out to the team. They have like an email address. I reached out, but it's like impossible.
We'll get there. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. All righty.
Okay.
Well, hey, it was good talking to you.
Thank you so much. Have a good Sunday, okay? And I'll talk to you very soon.
Sounds good. Talk to you later, man.
See you, man. Bye-bye. Okay. 1:40. Yeah. So in English, I continue in English. Sorry. That's it, I think, for today. Thanks for all the American folks who tuned in. Usually this is in German, but we hopefully will have more American guests here and have like this, like I said, this German-American connection Top Shot community going. It's very fun. I think that's what it's all about. That we have some international connections and fun together and learn from each other. And other than that, I would say have a very nice Sunday. Bitte als Video reinhauen. Yeah, I definitely put this on YouTube. So everybody who wants to watch it afterwards, just go to my YouTube channel. You will find under the same name, 101DE. And you can always contact me on Discord also, GK92. And yeah, leave a follow. Oh, and one more thing. People keep asking me about my Top Shot account because I have such a weird name on Top Shot. So I put it on here now. So people stop asking about it. So this is me for everybody who wants to check out my collection, or feel free to send a gift over. No, seriously. It has been fun. Stay safe, and I see you very soon. Peace.